These people behaved badly in restaurants. In 2022, 3 women were caught on camera trashing a fast food restaurant in Manhattan. They hurled glass bottles and other items at the servers. They even leaped over the counter to continue their attack. All this was over getting charged $1.75 for extra sauce. In 2018, a man was caught slurping soup at a Chicago restaurant buffet. He did it 4 times before returning the ladle to the pot.
That's just disgusting. It can make people sick. Anything that was going on in this guy's mouth is now going on in that soup.
Also in 2018, a furious father threw a smoothie at Connecticut store employees.
You're in high school, kid.
He claimed there was peanut butter in a drink after he advised that his son was allergic.
I want to speak to the person who made this drink.
He threw the drink, hitting a young worker behind the counter.
I'm calling the police.
He also made racially charged comments.
Immigrant loser.
What?
We have a customer who's out of control. He's been yelling racist things at us.
He was later charged with intimidation based on bigotry or bias, breach of peace, and criminal trespass. He received accelerated rehabilitation with a probation period of 1 year and was required to make a $500 charitable contribution. In 2021, a Texas woman was mad about her soup being too hot and threw it in the manager's face. The manager said the woman first called to complain.
And I, of course, offered her refunds and was trying to get her either a replacement meal or just something completely different if she wasn't in the mood for soup anymore. And she just continued to yell.
The customer showed up to confront her in person.
She just still continued to yell, make a scene, it's still cursing with, families and other children in the restaurant. And that's when I said, ma'am, you either need to calm down or leave, or I'm going to be calling the police. And I said, ma'am, I can still help you and get you something. I just ask that you don't yell and cuss at me. And that's the moment she threw it at me.
Hot soup can reach temps up to 200 degrees. Fortunately, the soup had cooled down when it was thrown into her face.
The warmth of the soup was not enough to really burn me. I mean, as you can see, I have no injuries from that itself, but the spices from the soup are what my eyes were stinging so bad. They were burning, and the spices were all inside of the top part of my nose, and it caused me to have a nosebleed.
The customer walked out, but was later identified and arrested. She was charged with a Class A misdemeanor assault causing bodily injury according to Bell County Sheriff's Department. She pleaded no contest to the assault charge and was sentenced to 50 months deferred adjudication and 6 days of jail work release. That same year, a waitress was praised after kicking a rude customer out of her diner.
Yeah.
Not wanted here. I'm telling you right now.
It looks like you're trying to reason with him. What are you saying here?
I'm trying to reason with him, but there's no reason with somebody like that.
Sandra says the guy was a regular who had been rude before, but she told Allison Hall that on this night he crossed the line.
You're not going to call me a bitch.
You were pretty gutsy, getting your finger up in his face and just really telling him off.
It came from my anger for 5 weeks of seeing his face. I just couldn't stand it anymore. He had to go one way or another.
Let's go. Hey.
I had never seen her yell like that before. It was also very inspiring.
She is a hero. She won't admit to it, but she is, really. Everyone's saying she's sticking up for every waitstaff in America.
I wouldn't say I'm a hero. I would say I'm a mother.
Not wanted here. I'm telling you right now.
Also in 2021, a customer sucker punched Courtney Hickey, the manager of a restaurant in Columbus, Ohio. It happened after she asked the customer to reinsert her credit card.
I'm pretty sure I was looking down at the time when she did it because I just didn't even see it coming at all. I caught myself and tried to assess the situation as quickly as I possibly could. The potential of getting hit or worse is always a possibility, and I'm just glad it wasn't worse.
In 2022, a suspect was arrested for setting fire to a New York City restaurant over a reportedly botched order. The FDNY released video of someone who appears to set fire deliberately to a Bangladeshi restaurant in Queens, New York. The suspect looked around and waited for a person to pass before dousing the front of the restaurant and sidewalk in a liquid. The fire reportedly caused over $1,500 in damage. The suspect was later arrested and charged with 1 count of arson, 1 count of criminal mischief, and 1 count of reckless endangerment. In March of 2025, this customer alerted his waitress about hair on his food.
It's not your typical hair in the food because you could see it was just all over the top of it, and he had ate most of the food out from under this wad of hair.
Because she was suspicious, management checked surveillance video. They could see the reflection in the window of the other guest reaching for the back of her head.
She must have pulled out a very sizable wad of hair. He reaches across the table to get it, and when he does, he sees it's a big wad of hair, so he's under the table trying to filter some of it out. I was like caught off guard that somebody would stoop this low to get a free meal from us. What is really comical, after he plants the hair, he continues to eat out of the plate. It was that good. He needed another bite.
Stephen Fabian has more.
When the con was uncovered, the manager quickly ran outside to confront the couple. And what did he see? Well, the guy who was just caught on tape putting his girlfriend's hair in his food was down on one knee proposing.
He's getting down on one knee. I was just like, hey, I got you on video, pal. What you did is despicable.
In 2018, a Georgia man got a hard lesson in keeping his hands to himself after groping a waitress at a pizzeria and getting taken down to the ground.
I honestly didn't even give it much thought. I did it. I didn't even know I could do that.
The 21-year-old employee was a college student.
I didn't even realize that I took him down the way I did until I saw the video afterwards.
Not only did Amelia Holden take him down, she scolded him in front of the entire establishment.
A lot of things that I can't really repeat.
The man was arrested and eventually pleaded guilty to sexual battery.
To see them put him in handcuffs, it was nice.
And get this, the suspect was believed to be having dinner with his wife and friends.
I don't care who you are, you have no right to disrespect me.
For Inside Edition Digital, I'm Andrea Swindall.